Hi everybody, this is Lorraine from Alternative Homesteading. We're just going to take a walk together and talk about the homestead, what I've planted, and something called Cointelpro. It's a psychological operation that was originally done by the CIA with the Nazi Stasi scientists that came to the United States, and they had told the United States that it ended. Well, it didn't end. It just converted into another psychological operation, but we'll discuss that in a minute. I planted nasturtium here, a lemon mint over here, strawberries, and I've got a little blueberry shrub here. This is something that didn't make it last year. This is Jerusalem cherry that I just found out is not edible, so I'm going to have to do something else with it. I've got a Nova raspberry here, parsley, cilantro, and what berry do I have here? I planted blackberries. What do I have here? It looks like, it looks like the criminals stole the tags. I just planted a red Russian kale here, a chamomile here, these three little buckets. I've got a fig tree, a Meyer lemon tree, and another fig tree here. This is going into its third year, and it seems to grow from the bottom and then gets bushy during the year. And I grew some onions and strawberries here, and some bush beans here. I've got another blueberry here, some more nasturtium. I planted sunflower seeds, and sunflower seeds are starting to come up. But let's take a walk to the field, and I'll show you what Cointelpro is about. And Cointelpro is a psychological operation. So yesterday I completely cleaned these windows, but today I've got what appears to be, it's hard to see, a splash of like a sun. These are Illuminati Freemason symbols, by the way. You can look them up. This was carefully drawn onto the window. And the reason it was drawn on this window is because I washed the whole window yesterday and I'm under surveillance. No, I haven't done anything wrong. It's called a Targeted Individuals, a terrorist watch list program, where millions of innocent U.S. citizens are targeted for profit. It's one of the biggest human trafficking, money-making, billion-dollar businesses this country has ever seen, side by side with child sex trafficking. I digress. Yes, honey pie, let's go to the field. Let's go to the field and show everybody what we got. So when I moved here, there was an old bathtub that was left here, and rather than have it hauled away, and I do have to clean up over here, I've got some hosta, more strawberries, and I planted one blackberry shrub over there. Here is the little stream that I've shown you before. It looks really pretty. We've got some flowers. I don't know what these flowers are. I did not plant these, but they've come back. One of them is a larkspur. And here's the field. Well, I've got several fields. So I've got the field all the way back there, the outer field. This is the inner field. This is completely fenced. And then all of this property here up to that fence, and then it goes all the way back where it borders the Kentucky Department of State. So all of that. I will be growing back in here and here. So here are the flower beds. But before I show you what I've grown, let me show you what the vandalism is that they've done. So these are brand new beds, by the way. Late fall of last year they were installed and then painted. So this is something that the criminals like to do. They like to crack, chip, etch, embed, mark, scribble, and they use a heat gun on wood to cause it to ripple, and I'll show you what I mean. So externally, they damaged this bed here, and this is actually not anything that happened over the winter. This was within the last week. The last week this was done. It was probably done over the weekend because the criminals seem to have their side hustle on weekends. So this was done likely over the weekend. Mother's Day weekend, yeah. And then we've got this crack here. Here, I can stick my fingernail in here. And here, this is not naturally occurring, but oh boy, I can really stick my fingernail in there. And then they went to this bed and did it here. This looks like it was done with a heat gun. It's hard to see here. Right here. And then all the way down here as well. Right here. It's all cracked. And then this one I just planted in, so they cracked all along here. And like I said, they used a heat gun. They did this to me when I lived at 52 Sutton Drive in Manalapan, New Jersey, in a house that I lived in for 30 years as original owner. And I call it real estate mobbing. The idea is to depreciate your property, make it appear as if you're not caring for it. It ages whatever you own. Look at that. I mean, this is just obviously a slice. This is obviously a cut. Somebody just ran across it with something sharp. Here you go. This is so obvious here. Look at this. Look at this. Can you see that? Look at that. I mean, it's hard to see with the way the sun is. The sun is facing here. But you can see it up here. And again, this is newly painted the fall of last year. And it did not look like this last week. This is new. This is within the last couple of days. Here's another one. I just found this over here. And then slices over here. You see here? Over here. It was not like this a couple of days ago. All the way down. Let's see what else. And over here. And no, this is not naturally occurring. These flower beds, these beds are not even a year old, and I bought them, they were new. And here's another one that they intentionally slice. Look at this. I can really put my fingernail in here. So getting back to what I'm planting, I'm still preparing this bed here. It takes a lot to fill up these beds. I've put dirt, grass clippings, leaves. So this one is empty. This one is empty. This is empty. This one I planted 2 blueberry shrubs, and then I was told that I really should transplant these because they're going to take over. Let's see if I can get the lighting a little bit better. So I've got, let's see, let's turn this way. So I've got raspberry, blackberries all in here, strawberries all in here, and I've got more strawberries here in half of the box. And this is a tree that was delivered through the Arbor Day Foundation, and I got, I guess, around 6 of them. And I didn't have any place to plant them, so I had them in water actually for an entire year. All the labels fell off, so I transplanted them, and this one took, I don't know what it is yet. If anyone knows, feel free to comment down below. And these I purchased on eBay, and I don't remember what they are. They're called pineapples. These are not pineapple trees. It's pineapple something else. I also purchased some tobacco plants that were doing really well, but I call them criminals. The criminals destroyed them. And I planted these 3 trees last year. So I've got a peach and an apple. Again, it's hard to see with the sunlight here. And then this was an apricot, and it's not doing well. I don't know why. It was doing well last year. I don't know if you can see it. It was doing well last year, and then suddenly this year it's not. It could be that it's in the wrong spot. I do get a lot of wind here. But I'm going to have to cut this grass, this field. We had so much rain in a very short period of time, and then the heat just makes everything grow. What, honey pie? This is Venus. You want to say hi? Say hi to everybody. Say yes. I'm an indoor-outdoor cat. Yes, I'm indoor-outdoor. Yes, say hi. I'm cute. And did you tell everybody about our new baby chick? That's right, the mommy bird. She hatched one of her first chickies yesterday. We'll have a video out about that too. But there we got these stalkers. They drive back and forth all day long, making noise. I don't know where they're going. There's nothing around here to go to. There is a camp down the block, but it hasn't opened in 2 years because of COVID. So, okay, so this is better. The lighting is a little bit better here. So I've got all kinds of stuff growing here, including some poison ivy, which I'm not a fan of. I am not a fan of poison ivy, like this creature right here. That lovely creature. That lovely creature that's climbing up this tree. I do not like poison ivy, so we're going to have to remove it. I've also sprayed vinegar on it a couple of days ago, but then we had this unexpected torrential rain. So now I'm going to have to reapply it again. I use Epsom salt sometimes and then pour the vinegar on it. So that's my little tour there. And the reason I spoke about the vandalism is some people know that I have been illegally, covertly placed on a terrorist watch list. Yes, folks, me. But don't laugh. Don't think I'm nuts. Yes, I really was placed on a watch list, like a couple of million other innocent Americans, and this is to bloat the terrorist watch list. So that, oh, look who's here. We've got a butterfly. What you doing, kiddo? You drinking? Or are you okay? Let's see. Oh, you're okay. I'm just interrupting. It's to bloat the watch list so that the Department of Homeland Security can issue grant money to police departments, your local EMS, your Freemasons, research and development, and they're really big into artificial intelligence now. So what they do is, and I'm not like putting a feather in my cap, but they especially target intelligent, ethical people that speak the truth about things. They absolutely hate it, but they like it for their AI. They want to know how we think. They want to know how we do things and follow us around. Literally, I am surveilled 24/7. And I can prove it because things that I say in my house are repeated externally, outside by strangers. And again, this is a relay system. So if this is happening to you, just know that you're not crazy. This is really happening to hundreds of thousands, perhaps millions of innocent U.S. citizens. And by the way, those shooters, those children, that come out and just suddenly start shooting up people? The reason is sort of like James Holmes, Adam Lanza. Just remember, research their backgrounds. These are genius level boys. Genius level. In fact, James Holmes was a neuroscience major, and he had reported that he was hearing voices. He was not schizophrenic. Those voices were being planted in his head externally with technology. It's called V2K, or voice to skull. This is high-grade military technology that's been around since the 50s or the 60s, and they use it on the military. They have used it to pump voices into the enemy's heads to see Allah, and that they would retreat, and they would be taken over. So yes, don't take my word for it. Do your research. I don't get that V2K stuff. They send radio frequencies into my house, and you could hear it reverberating on the roof. And I have recordings. This is every day. These radio frequencies are extremely harmful, but even more harmful than the directed energy weapons, DEW, directed energy weapons. These are handheld devices that are planted on the back of pickup trucks and SUVs and people that park outside of your house while you're sleeping, or even implanted underneath your house. But in addition to these directed energy weapons, these radio frequencies can be tuned to interact with your DNA. And you're asking me, how do they get my DNA? Well, guess what? Every time you go to the doctor and give blood, every time you sneeze in a tissue and throw it away in your garbage pail, or coughing, or sipping on a cup that somebody may steal from you, you are implanting your DNA. And in addition, when you're a truly targeted person, these criminals surreptitiously enter your home while you're asleep. They'll enter through windows, doorways. These are criminals. This is a total psyop. They know exactly what they're doing. It's very hard to block this stuff out, especially when you don't know that it's happening for several years. You don't know it's happening. But they will actually put you to sleep with radio frequencies and stick a needle in your arm and draw blood. And no, I'm not just saying this. I have woken up with needle marks on my arms, and I don't smoke cigarettes. I don't smoke weed. I don't do drugs. I don't eat meat. I don't eat genetically modified foods. I have a healthy lifestyle. Sure, I like chocolate. I eat mostly organic chocolate cocoa. Right, girl? Even you ate good food. So these criminals, in order to swipe your DNA, they will put you to sleep and covertly enter your home and steal it from you. But they can do it in other ways. Yes, they go through your garbage pails. They do. They are paid to go through your garbage and steal anything important. What's important? Envelopes to your bills, which is why you should burn them. Old greeting cards signed off by somebody who has a signature. Junk mail. Anything that you touch has your DNA. Anything. So I want you to educate yourself. Anybody who's interested in this topic, feel free to email me. My email is my full name at gmail.com. I'm not going to put it out there other than it is my full name at gmail.com. Many of you already know what my full name is. Of course, the first name is Lorraine at Alternative Homesteading. But you need to educate yourself, because these people called targeted individuals on the terrorist watch list called non-investigative subjects, NIS, non-investigative subjects. They are some of the most creative, bright, forward-thinking, a non-corruptible truth tellers in our society that they are trying to take out. But unfortunately, we are the tests, and what is happening to us is going to be rolled out to the rest of the population. And this includes, if you own a home or property, it is asset stripping. When that psychopath Klaus Straub, whatever his Straub, says you will own nothing and be happy, well, who's going to own everything that we own? Right? Where is that going to go? But that's what the asset stripping is. When I lived in Manalapan, New Jersey, my house should have sold for over $600,000. It was in the $620,000 price range. It sold for $540,000 because I incurred more than $300,000 in vandalism to that house at 52 Sutton Drive, Manalapan, New Jersey, 07726, where I lived for 30 years and renovated that house from top to bottom. But these criminals don't want to pay what it's worth. They want to make it look like you're not caring for your property. And while they are employing their satanic ritual abuse procedures, and it is ritual abuse, every day they're on you. Every day, a slice here. It's called slow kill. It's called slow kill for a reason. Just like with my planters. I've had those planters since the fall of last year. And then they come in and slice all the planters. One fall swoop. And I guarantee they'll be back. Because that chip, that cut, that was from 2 weeks ago. So they had to come back and do the job a little at a time. It's called slow kill. It's 1,000 cuts. The death of 1,000 cuts. That's what the program is about. And when I say program, it is a psychological operation. It is satanic ritual abuse. So you're going to ask me, who is performing all this stuff? Well, I'll tell you who's involved. Your local sheriff's department, prosecutor's office, EMS, some psychologists, some psychiatrists, medical doctors, dentists. Oh yes, those dentists, you go for a procedure, they'll implant you in a nanosecond. They'll get paid under the table to stick an implant underneath your tooth to monitor you. But they're all involved. And your neighbors. Your neighbors receive letters, non-disclosure letters. Somebody in a suit, sporting a fake badge, somebody in an alleged position of authority will approach all the neighbors with a slander campaign concocted by your local fusion center that is a subsection of the Department of Homeland Security. Oh yes, they need to monitor the terrorist threats. And guess what? Anyone can be labeled a terrorist threat. And I'll tell you for a fact that when I was walking on my driveway at 52 Sutton Drive in Manalapan, and my new perpetrator neighbor moved in, picked a fight with me, called the police, and the police, instead of the Manalapan police, instead of listening to my side of the story and reporting it because I had documented proof, they only added her fabricated incident. And on the incident report, through an Open Public Records Act, they wrote, for me, disorderly conduct while I was walking on my own driveway. Here you go. Here's more vandalism. This is a new post, by the way. This was installed last year, the summer of last year. Look at that. Now, this is the way they like to rot wood, deteriorate things. This is not naturally occurring. And then they pick the paint off of here again. I can't tell you how many times I've painted this. So many times, but I digress. So yes, the Manalapan Police Department wrote on my incident report, disorderly conduct and terror threat. So I sent them a letter. I said, could you please tell me what this means? And then when they didn't respond, I sent it via formal FOIA requests, and they have been non-responsive for 3 years. So the police departments are involved. Not all the police, but the ones that know about it and do nothing, they're just as guilty. I don't care if they think, oh, well, something's going to happen to them. You're a public servant. You're paid with my tax dollars. Your tax dollars. Everybody that's listening to this, your tax dollars are going to pay these criminal organizations. But yes, there are a group of police at every police department, that are involved in this side hustle. We're turning into a snitch society police state. And I want to show you my new firewood. This firewood was taken down a month and a half ago. And look at what the criminals did to my new firewood. Well, see, it's a nice firewood here. And this is what they did. It did not look like this, by the way. They can do this intentionally. You see that? Can you see that? Doesn't it look ridiculously similar? Look at that. Brand new firewood. Yeah. Look at that. Evil looking faces, huh? Well, let's see. We're going to have another criminal driving down the block. Oh yes, this is one that beeps their horn every time they pass by. Watch. Black pickup truck. Not doing it now, huh? Oh, but there's the red one. See, they have to crisscross each other. And this one's a criminal. This one right here, black windows. These little bun babes, I call them bun babes. So yeah, so there are 803 people living in this town. And the only time they cross each other like that is when I'm outside. Just saying. And it's not a coincidence, besides the fact that I don't believe in coincidences. They don't really happen. Everything is carefully concocted and planned. And for the record, they have an app, these criminals, they have an app that they share. So they know where you are all the time. And they share that information instantaneously. Nanosecond. Less than that, a picosecond. So they're on a relay, and that's why they're able to crisscross at the exact time. They receive alerts to their phones, so you think that we're all mind controlled? These criminals, oh look, there he goes again. There goes the same pickup truck going back in the other direction. They always got to rev up the engine when they pass my property though. And then, of course, it dies down when it gets over the hill. But this is a lot longer than I anticipated. We're going on 28 minutes here, so I'm going to sign off. I hope everybody is having a good day. It is beautiful outside here in eastern Kentucky. And I'm signing off for now.